Mallory, was this the first time you'd worked with puppets? I know with Yamasong, they're all animated.
Well, they're not animated. They're live action puppets. It is actually not the first time we've worked with puppets. On the last feature that we did, Kids vs. Monsters, some of our monsters were puppets, and we had so much fun with them. And we've just absolutely adored getting into the world of puppet filmmaking.
Wow. Okay, so animation would be where you're drawing it, or there's a cartoonist. So with this, it's like these live action things that you have. It's almost like a marionette. Where
Yes.
There's someone
It's called American Tabletop, and it's an American version of a Japanese form of puppetry called bunraku. And instead of in Japan, it would be all black puppeteers in a complete black suit on a black background doing the puppets, and they're called rod puppets. They're about this big, and they have rods stuck into their joints. Sometimes there's mouth and hand movements, but it's mostly rod puppetry. But the way that we do it is that we have all the puppets on a green screen with people in complete green suits, and we digitally remove the puppeteers and put digital backgrounds or real backgrounds in behind the puppets.
Wow, okay, so let's take a 10-minute scene with the puppets. How long would that actually take to film?
Could take all day, could take a couple of days. It's just like we're shooting it live action, so it's sort of like working just on a regular film set. You have to set everything up, you have to light everything, you have to do it several different times, and the way that we do it is that we record the voices first of all the actors, and then the puppeteers actually puppeteer to the voices, and they do it a little bit, we speed the voices up just a little bit so it ends up looking natural.
Oh wow, okay, so the script, the audio is pretty much already done aside from any type of music or Foley work?
We do our best, and at least with Yamasong, we were able to record all the voices for all our voice talent first. That way our puppeteers can actually puppeteer perfectly to to all the different inflections in the voices.
So then I would imagine that the script is locked at that point in terms of dialogue and everything.
Definitely.
Okay.
We can change the scenes around a little bit, but dialogue-wise, we're locked in.
You're locked in, okay. And so then the puppeteers, what's their process for listening to the dialogue so they really get a feel?
We play it on set. We have it blasting out of speakers, so they're hearing it, they've read the script, they're familiar what's going on, and they're listening over and over again to the lines. So by the end of it, they know everything perfectly.
Once you get on set, how much time do the puppeteers have actually getting a feel for the different animal that they're working with? Because they were all animals in the
they're sort of humanoid animals, but they'll take time to get a feel for the puppet, how it moves. They'll do a bunch of test scenes, to just see how it's going to work. Because fitting, when a puppet's this big, some of our puppets take 5 people to puppeteer. So it's a very interesting choreographed movement to get all 5 people, because one person might be just doing 2 arms, and the other person would be doing 2 legs, one person will be doing the head. So there's definitely some test runs before we start shooting just to get it all moving correctly.
When you were little, did you go to puppet shows?
I actually had my own marionette theater that my grandfather built me. I've always really loved puppets, and I would put on little shows with the marionettes. So there's something about puppet filmmaking and being able to have total control and being able to move these either humanoids or animals. And there's obviously more things that you can do with puppets than you can do with real humans. And there's an exaggeration and a hyperbole of emotion and movement that you get from puppets that is physically impossible from humans. And it's similar to animation in the way that you can get these big movements and these big emotions and these big ideas with puppets, and it's just so fun and so rewarding, and it's a very interesting way of telling a story.
So with each of the puppeteers, let's suppose there's going to be 2 puppeteers working on one puppet. How much backstory do they go into for that one character to know kind of even its body language? And let's suppose it's a more demure animal figure versus a more extroverted one.
Oh, I think the puppeteers they're just like actors, and they all have their own method of getting into the character and understanding the character. And after they've read the script, everyone's different, but they definitely sort of have an idea of who the character is, what their motivations are, what they love, what they want in this scene. It's like dealing with a teeny tiny little actor.